Hello and welcome to Basic Guru. Today we're going to have a discussion about how employers and employees are able to use our resource compliance library, whether it's to store the company handbook, training forms and documents, new hire documents, anything related to benefits, or frankly any other company forms that might be useful for your employees or the employer to have access to 24/7 can be stored inside of our compliance resource library. An employer would simply go over to Resources, and what we're looking at here would be resources that either the agent or the employer created on behalf of this employer called C-Watch. In order to do this, we create what are called categories. Think of them like online manila file folders. When we click Add Categories, we can add 5 of them at a time. There is no limit to the number of categories that we create. We're just creating 5 of them at a time. You give names to each one of them. When you click on them, they turn gray. Incidentally, the number here tells you how many resources are actually inside of that folder. So for instance, for C-Watch, we created the SBC for employee review. We uploaded each of the different summary benefits and coverage documents that the employees would need to be able to review after receiving them from the insurance company. The hand indicates that we have shared those with all employees. So what a great place to put access to online enrollment if you have a capability for that. Or your Marketplace Exchange notice. See how we've shared that with our employees? What about the WRAP SPD? There is a mandate that you have to share the completed WRAP SPD with your employees. Not only does BASIC create the documents, but we also give you a place to store them, share them with the employees, and of course have the employees sign off on them. So you've got complete compliance protection in case you do get audited. If you're an over 20 group, get your COBRA notices. It could be all your HIPAA notices, any of the other required ACA or ERISA notices. By the way, at BASIC we also create all of the ACA required ERISA notices customized for a client for an additional fee. It could be your online training videos. It could be access to the company handbook. Perhaps disciplinary action that you've taken and forms that you've kept track of for specific employees. Or maybe it's all of the employees' I-9 forms held in one place, or medical documentation, or even the required OSHA notices in case there's an accident that happened. Remember that the employer or the agency can upload documents or hyperlinks on the fly. If you recall, I said anytime you have the hand here, that means that all employees are able to see that. Basic Guru also provides the ability to upload documents to one specific employee. So I've clicked on the employees. We can click on the personal file cabinet for Mary Blige. Now we're looking at the information that only Mary Blige has the ability to see. In this case, we had to create a category and we named it Mary Blige New Documents, and here it is at the bottom. Let's click on it. Inside of that, we've loaded in resources. If the hand appears, it means that you're sharing it. Notice that the language is different. We're only sharing it with the one employee, Mary Blige. Great place to store her annual review if you want her to see it, her electronic consent approval form, her W-4, whatever that might be. Notice this document does not have a hand there, which means it's something that Mary should not be able to see, that only the employer can see it. Thank you very much for watching this short demonstration on our compliance resource library from an employer perspective. Let's quickly go out and see what it looks like from an employee perspective. So when we sign in as an employee, we go to Resources. Now we're looking at resources that are specific to Sam Smith. This should look quite familiar. Sam can see any categories that were turned on for him, in this case, to be able to see. And since we're signed in as the employee, no need to see the hand. If a document appears there, it's something that this employee should be able to see. Remember, this is all customizable by the agency or by the employer. Thank you very much for participating in this webinar today. As always, if you have any questions, please feel free to contact Brett Spinks at 888-624-4878. Thank you, and have